This is Graham from Doteasy coming to you with another video. This one is also part of our WordPress series. We're going to be talking to you guys today about the permalinks. Now the permalinks, most of you have probably glossed across for or maybe even modified or made your own permalink section, but it is one of the integral pieces of WordPress. What the permalinks do is it allows you to change what actually shows in the URL, in the address bar at the very top of your screen, and shows in what the post name, the page names, and everything else that are up there. So you can use this in WordPress to change actually what shows up there. So you can restrict it, you can show up different things. It does by default create its own one. We're going to show you just kind of some examples of default ones and kind of how they work, how they show up. And there are some different things we'll mention as well, some things to watch out for, be careful with, so that you can go through and know exactly what you're doing with it. So like usual in WordPress, we want to start off by going into the dashboard. And once we're in the WordPress dashboard, we need to go down to Settings and Permalinks. This is where you'll find the options for them. In the permalinks, it'll always start as a default option. If you have a very specialized theme or some security plugins, it may not give you these options. They may be grayed out, or they may have some specialized ones already set up. But this is just a default installation. Most of you will find it's the same way. So the default option is that any poster page will show up as basically being a P equal sign and then a number. Signify whichever number. So to give you an example, we've got just one of our posts up here, and you can see this is currently the URL. So it just shows P equals 1. This is just a default one that shows up within WordPress. So now if we go ahead and we say change it to a different one, like domain name, we can see it creates this long structure here. This is what it actually looks like on the coding level, but we can just go ahead and leave it on the selected one here. You need to make sure to click Save Changes at the bottom whenever you make a change, and it's going to give you an option saying the structure was updated. And then if we instead go back to the page here, we're going to see it now changed at the top. So now it shows the date and the post name. So this is just an example how it can very easily change it. So if you want, you can change it to month name, numeric, post name. Most people go with the post name because it does keep things simple. So we're going to select this option here. I'm going to save it, and then we're going to go back here and show you. Let me just go back here. And there we go. So it just says Hello World, which is just the name of the post itself. So now one thing to just mention here is that if you actually go to the original location, so as you remember before we had just the one here set up, I'm just going to borrow this again, and we type it in here, it's going to still work and it's going to go to the right location. Because that actual location it originally starts with, the default, that is the actual physical location of the file. What it does here is it's actually using the htaccess file to modify the way it's called mod rewrite. It's actually rewriting the URLs for you. So if you do leave it as the default one, you can always go back there. If you originally started with the default level of permalinks and anyone's bookmarked your pages, those bookmarks will still work. So you can definitely go ahead and do that. Now, if you've been using custom permalinks and people have bookmarked them before, they're actually going to show what we just showed you here before, which is you're going to get an error page. You have to make sure to go to either the links on your site, which automatically know where to go, or you're going to need to go to the actual page itself. You know where that is located. So just do keep that in mind if you do decide to change the permalinks around, is that people with bookmarks may get to an error page. So that is something to keep in mind. If you ever decide to move the location of the physical files of your site, say you're moving it from a subdomain up to the regular domain, the top level, you'll want to go ahead and reset up the permalink structure. It helps adjust it so that all the files and everything knows where it is. So that way you don't have to move everything around yourself. So very helpful, very easy to do. If you want to set up your own custom permalink structures, you can certainly do so. You can borrow from the actual structures that it creates here and just kind of modify them. There's a list on the actual WordPress site of all the different settings you can do for it, so you can get some very nice structure names in there if you want. There is some optional ones of categorized and uncategorized. Unless you're really familiar with doing the custom settings here and typing in yourself, we suggest to stay away from these and just use these as the default names, or most commonly people leave it at the post name. And this again helps it keep it very nice, very easy, so that the URLs make sense and that people can go to them without any problem. Your site, your menu, of course, will always know where to go on its own, so you don't need to worry about updating anything else. If you have a hard-coded link in your pages, so you've actually physically typed in something to the editor, you may need to go in and adjust that if it's linking to another page, because otherwise it's not going to go. If you're ever not sure of what page is supposed to link for, you can go into the posts, and you can open up any post here. We're just going to go to the third one. It actually says at the top here, this is where it actually located based on the permalinks. and you can go ahead and grab that and easily set up a link based on that. So very easy to find it here, very easy to grid it and find it that way. And then if you have any other questions about the permalinks or you're having trouble setting them up, let us know. One other just eventual thing to mention here is if you have any security plugins, make sure that you do keep in mind that the permalinks may not work with your security plugins. You may need to contact the plugin provider and see if you can set up permalinks or if there's a special way to do it. Otherwise, modifying your security settings may break your permalinks. It's an unfortunate sacrifice. Some of the better ones like Bulletproof, we did a video about it. You can check out that one. It does have its own available area where you can set up the permalink, so you can set it up there. So just do keep that in mind as well. If you'd like us to make any other videos for you, similar to Permalink or other ones we've been creating, let us know in the comments. You can contact us on Facebook or Twitter as well. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can see the more videos as we bring them to you or other information as well. Thank you.